7, 6, 5. We're live right now.
Live.
So what's up, guys?
Man,
Oh, you know.
man. I tell you what, this AWDA thing is no joke.
I tried to warn you. I tried.
Yeah, and all them presidents from Utah and Colorado and everybody that scared the shit out of me, and I just said, "Oh yeah, liars."
How'd they scare you? What did they do?
Oh, they told me exactly what was going to happen, the attacks or the time it takes, like all day today.
Is it happening?
Oh yeah,
You got a big old X on your head now?
Oh, I imagine so. I mean, I'm making waves. That Arizona Republic article came out. What do you think of that article, Dustin? Did you read it yet?
Yeah, I read it. I mean, I think it wasn't bad. I mean, you could definitely tell what side he's from, but he didn't like directly come out and say it. But I still think it, was actually decent written.
It was fairly written for both sides.
Yeah.
I have not.
I haven't either. Howdy, Bill.
What is it about?
Howdy, Missy. Howdy, Chris. Cass River Ranch, West Siberian Lycas is here. Hello. There's my buddy Randy. Hey, Randy, I cooked that.
He's a member.
Randy is?
Yes, he is.
Cool. He came down and stayed here. Well, he stayed here at the house one night, and then, or outside, he stayed camped in his trailer, and then he went up this canyon I go up all the time, and him and I got to run around in the buggy a little bit, and he gave me a bunch of elk, and I killed my last little outing, and I cooked that backstrap on the fire. I got to admit, I got it a little too done. It's so lean.
4 minutes. 4 minutes on each side. You're good to go. Let it rest.
Yeah.
I got up. We got rid of the kids Saturday night. I got up. I was going to make I was like, man, I was going to make an omelet. I had bell peppers and needed to use bacon, whatever, potatoes. Well, I took the bell peppers and I just cut the top off, and then I fried them in a frying pan whole, like just kept turning them. Then I fried an egg, shoved it in the bottom, fried some potatoes, shoved it on top of the egg, and then put bacon all the way around it, and then put a bunch of cheese on it and put it in the oven for a little bit.
You're a chef, master chef.
A breakfast, yeah, that's a breakfast stuffed bell pepper.
Yeah, that's what it was. And then that night, I was just going to make some top ramen. It's left overnight. It's Sunday, last night. I'm like, oh, man, I want an egg in it. You crack an egg and let it kind of like stir fried. And I said, well, hell, I got an Instapot. It takes 4 minutes to make rice. So I threw it in. I threw some rice in the Instapot. And my wife's like, we could just make stir fried rice. And I'm like, do we have any medley? You know what medley is? It's just a can of green beans, corn, peas, and potato. So I just got the wok out and threw the rice and medley in there and stir fried it and put it on top of my top ramen.
That's Chinese food right there.
That's it.
Put a little soy sauce on that and you're good to go.
I did. And I used a low sodium soy sauce.
Oh, you got high blood pressure.
Well, that's all we have because my wife makes Korean beef bowl and you have to have low sodium. And my wife is good at going to the grocery store to make it again and buying another bottle and another bottle and another bottle. But you know what we're out of, which is amazing in any household that we use it on? Worcestershire sauce. I had no Worcestershire.
Oh, hey, that's not the correct way to pronounce that. I learned just the other day watching some Cajun stuff. Wash your sister sauce.
Wash your sister?
This is why Jason has to listen to all of our podcasts.
Give him a bunch of work cutting out the bad parts.
I did. You know what? He said he cut out the chicken fighting part, but he didn't. But we weren't talking about nothing bad. It's just more controversy, chicken fighting.
Well, they were just fighting out there. They were just fighting out there in the hen house, weren't they?
Yeah, it's not like we were saying cockfighting or nothing vulgar.
Yeah.
So, Brett, when you go out, do you have a little humidor, like a little portable one?
No, I don't.
These are like $15. And what I do, they actually have a little thing you put water in.
Yeah.
But I like my cigars really wet, like they're almost soggy. I don't know why.
I
So I,
did like you said. I took a Ziploc bag and put them in it
oh
and put
yeah,
a wet paper towel in there
hmm
with them.
and were they kind of wet?
Yeah, they were. It was so
And they
damn cold.
smoked a lot better, didn't they?
It was so damn cold up there where I was.
They froze.
Yeah, they were frozen.
It's been
What a
chilly
good
here.
choice you made. Yeah.
It was a good video.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I did. It was really put together well, I think.
Thank you. I just had those game cameras up there, and then my wife has been sick with the COVID, so I'd been home taking
Again?
care of. Well, so I'd been home taking care of her, and then she got up that morning. She felt really good and everything, and I said, "Man, I got to get out. I got to go get those game cameras." So I just took a
hmm
pack mule. I thought it was going to snow, and I thought, well, this will make a pretty decent video. And I've always wanted to go out and survive in the snow. And that place where I went was real. I knew it. It was a really neat place. I mean, the reason I found it is I trailed a lion to it, and we call it
Yeah.
Tanaka. It's just a natural place that holds water. And sure enough, there was still water there. And I set up camp, and I set up down in the bottom of that stinking canyon. And then after I got everything set up, I sat there and got claustrophobia because I don't like to be enclosed like that. I like to be more out in the open. I could just picture those rocks falling down and hit me in the head.
Didn't you see? Did I send you that video of my kids down in the mine?
No, you didn't.
I'll send it to you. They're 10-year-olds, and I shove them down in mines.
I don't. I
Make
that
sure make sure there's no rattlesnakes first. For me,
Mines, cave holes, any of that stuff. Like I said, I climbed water tanks for a long time for a living. 100 and something feet in the air, and I was okay. But man, you put me in a hole, and I get my hair on the back of my neck stands up.
I don't blame you.
I don't like
I'll find
holes.
it.
I
Did
told
you
you.
do any good the other day after we talked?
No, I trailed that lion up into those bluffs up there, climbed my fat butt all the way up there, and then just it just died. They were still, balling here and there, and that they couldn't move it out of that spot. And I do have a problem with impatience, and so I started calling people. I call Cody and I call Brick Bean and got to talking to them. Brick, they both had good advice. Like Brick said, he said, what else do you got to do? And I said,
Yep.
nothing really. He said, so sit there and give them a chance, And I called Cody, and Cody's, same thing. He said, well, if you don't have an indicator which way he left or what is going on, you have no choice but just to sit there. So I sat there for over an hour and let him. You could have hit an elephant up there in those bluffs. I mean, they're big rocks, and I mean it's hard to imagine just how bluffy and big round rocks and cracks everywhere. And
Mm-hmm.
I gave them as much time as I could, and then I started moving them around. I got, I think it's one of those little sneaky females, and I bet she was up there bedded down, and then she snuck out of there when the dogs came up there. And when she snuck out of
Probably
there,
stayed
I've
there,
watched.
right?
What's that?
She's probably still there.
No, I went back this
They don't
morning.
sneak out as often as yeah, but they don't sneak out as often as you think. You just need somebody like Dustin up there to crawl around and look.
Well,
No,
I
no, I
mean,
don't bounce so good.
everyone told me, they said, because I talked to everybody after that, and they said, well, they said she could have snuck out, whatever. And and right where I was, right below the bluff, if she'd have gone out, there's some places where she could have gone out. If she'd gone out, and I moved the dogs up there, and you get in that yellow grass and over the top where it's real exposed. So it might have been pretty tough trailing right there anyway. So I went back this
Yeah,
morning. I'll show you. I'll show you something here. Let me see if I can find it.
I sent you a video too. Of my kids down in a mine.
I went back over there. Let me see if I can get this done right. And it wasn't all for naught.
We're waiting on Brett.
You see it? I did have something climb a tree. Besides
Your
the
dog?
besides the dog. That's not a very
Can
good
you move
picture.
that picture down?
I didn't even get a very good picture of it, did I?
Was that the whole picture?
Let me see if this will show.
Jack! Jack!
Well, I'm old and slow. So, and I did. That was the biggest coon I ever seen. He did fall out of that tree. The dogs hadn't had anything to chew on for quite a while, so I gave them a little fur to get in their mouth. Those terrorists, though, it don't matter. They'll if it'll climb a tree, they'll run it. They'll run it if it don't climb a tree. They won't run deer though, or javelina. I got a sneaking suspicion, though, sometimes they'll cold trail a coyote. I haven't had proof of it yet, but I just got a sneaking suspicion of it.
Well, I told Brett, I said, them coyotes, they're in heat right now.
Stinky, aren't they?
Probably don't help much. You know, if you know how dogs act when any dog's in heat, so I wonder if they get a good whiff of that, if they're going to be like, hey, girl.
I wonder if the coon, what time of year do the coons breed?
It's probably similar to right now, I would bet. I know back when I used to hunt a lot, we'd always run into when they had babies early spring. So I would bet they got to be, I don't know what their gestation is, but it's got to be soon.
Yeah, because this was
I
a
think
big old board.
gestation is the same as a dog, like 60 days. 55 to 70 days. In the spring is when they're born, a majority of.
Yeah.
Raccoons mate from January to March, so it's kind of like coyote. I've seen coyotes breeding in October, November, too.
Hold on, guys. My grandson just showed up. Let me see if I can turn this camera around.
January to March.
Hey, we got two.
January to March.
Oh, that's the stuff nightmares are made of. 2 bennies.
2 bennies.
Oh, gosh. What the hell?
One snap, not one message, not one picture, not nothing. I got lots of pictures for you.
Let's just listen to Brett talk to his
All
grandson.
this is, yeah.
Well, we got some. I'm gonna try to go to that that lion. I don't know why he don't mute his stuff. Now we can hear him talking. Anyways, that New Mexico lion workshop, Benny. I got a guy that wants me to go to it and pay me to do it. He's gonna pay for the entry and everything.
Well, I think all you got to do then is just take the time off the job you don't have.
Well, I put in my PTO already. I have to get it approved, and I've looked it over, and I think I'm going to approve it. I don't know. I might.
If this other guy's paying, I think it is PTO and it's already established.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I got people that want to purchase rifles so we can raffle them. It's been a good 4 days, I'll be honest.
They want to purchase rifles.
Yeah, someone's going to donate a rifle.
Oh, donate a rifle. Cool.
Mm-hmm. I was trying to get Dustin to go with me, but he's too busy with all the big clubs.
After today,
I was gone for 2 weeks, bouncing around 5 states.
After today, I can donate a coon hunt.
Maybe. It might have been the only coon in that area.
Just to donate the coon.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah.
So I might go check that out. I've talked to a few people about it. So I don't know.
I think it'd be worth it just to go see what it's all about.
It's 4 days. Blech.
Go see
That's
what?
a long
What?
time.
Where?
Oh, I was got that uh,
Come on.
Mountain Lion Workshop over there in Albuquerque. I have a guy paying. Said he wants somebody there.
I'll be down.
So
If you're gonna go to Albuquerque, drive whatever vehicle you don't necessarily want to drive home.
Oh, it's not that
I
bad.
know. I was going to take my little Corolla. I have full coverage on it. Well, I could take my Tundra. I have full coverage on it too, and it's almost paid off. So I should get enough money
Yeah,
back to
but
get
you
another
want
one.
that. Yeah, you want that. That's your daily
Yeah,
driver.
I don't want to go past the 2019. My service guy even said that. Don't You got to wait because anything built during COVID is junk. I'll tell you. I guarantee you that right now.
Really?
Oh yeah. Well, they put together like crappy. There's nobody there. Hard to put together a Tundra in Texas if you're working from home.
Yeah,
But
fair point.
and I really like. I regret trading my other Tundra in. I should have kept it, and then just got this one too, and wore that one out till I couldn't go no more. But shoot, my dad's. I think he has 350,000 miles on his, and he told me today he
What year
almost
was your
rolled
other one?
15.
Look at
And I had
look at this little houndsman educating us here.
I know.
March and April, January and June, and the peak for breeding
That's Wayne's
season will be
daughter.
March and April. Yeah, no, April and coon hunter. Coon hunters should know that.
Oh shit, we're not coon hunters.
Should just
Oh,
No.
Well,
That's-
we're not coon hunters. Someone else over here is coon hunter now.
that's exactly like that 9-year-old schooling him on rope and goat last year.
she didn't school on me. She's just so disappointed, just like you idiot.
Oh,
Why
yeah.
are you even out here?
Yeah.
Hey, don't worry about my entry fee. I'll pay my own way.
Yeah.
Yep.
You gonna be there to redeem yourself?
Yeah, I guess so. I got to practice before I go.
Yep. Better go buy a goat. Just have your grandson run around. Rope him.
Have him hop around in a circle.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
I might. I was talking. Matter of fact, I was talking to Rick Dickerson today, and I think I might see about getting me another roping horse here this spring.
Oh no, let's see. This is bad.
This
Why?
is like when Benny said he's getting dogs again.
There you go.
Well, I figure if I could get Rick down here, then I could help him with his roping. He could help me with my lion hunting.
Hounded.
Barter.
Yep.
That's a fair trade.
Just trying to throw out some facts. Oh, dang.
Oh,
She's repping her,
she's picking up.
her dad.
She's
Mm-hmm.
picking up the slack for Wayne.
Yeah.
Well, that's needed. That's perfect.
Just throwing out some facts. That's something that don't happen around here very often. Throw out a lot of BS, but not a lot of facts.
I had someone send me something today about something going on in Washington. What is that, Dustin? Did I send it out? Did I?
I think you sent it to me, but I haven't got a chance to look at it yet. I'm sure
I forgot what it was.
Washington's horrible. They're about as bad as California when it comes to going after everything.
What were they?
Hey guys, it's Kelsey from the Conservation Coalition. Just
Yeah.
wanting to talk to you a bit about the Ruckle House issue that we will see pop up in the 2025 legislative session that starts on Monday. This is the make or break issue for the sportsman community. The biggest thing we have seen come down the line, and it's going to take all.
Oh, let's just freeze up. The only time I've never had it freeze up in my life. Come on.
So, but have you been getting a lot of support, Chris?
I think I raised almost $5,000 in 4 days,
That's good.
and I got 20 members. A couple pending. Waiting on Benny still. Waiting on Benny and Brett Vaughn
Hey, I'm
and
a
Dustin.
member.
Matter of fact,
I should be a member. I should be honorary member.
is that what it is?
I
You
hope
will
so.
be.
I donated a collar, but I guess I'm still not a member, Brett. So you might have to just keep going.
That's true. That's
Hey,
true. You're right.
Callers, collars are not cash.
That is true.
Nah.
I donate something every month.
I would have just paid the membership fees and told me to pay the caller with all the membership fees. Jared hasn't signed up. I paid my
That's-
$50 fee. That's all I'm saying. Even though I got 3,000 deep in 501c3.
Yeah.
But we did have one guy donate $3,500.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Really, that's cool.
I think people know we need something. I think it's what it is. You know, that's kind of why I started this. Well, that's why we named it this tonight, so we could talk about, for one, interview stories and tells. You know, everybody loves to listen to all these interviews, but what is it, $300 to $500 to just take a trip to some of these places? You know, you're at least 150 deep in fuel, easy, for a local one in the state. You know, and everybody always says, and I'm going to talk about this probably hard on Wednesday, you know, oh, yeah, it's great. We're there. If I had a member for everybody that told me they were going to join, we'd have 100 members.
That's a long reach into that pocket, though.
Well, I think $50 is nonsense, to be honest. I don't, you know, and I've had a lot of people tell me, hey, $50, like, you should be doing 20 or 30. I said, I'm just trying to get members at this point. You know, if people want to donate 20 or 30 a month, they can come in and do it, you know. And me and Dustin have talked about it. If we had 30, 40 members that were donating every month, we'd be giving callers away every month.
But is that $50 for a year?
Yeah, it's just for a year. But you can donate any time. I have people that donated 50 and then threw another 100 for donations, or did a membership for 50
and then
did another 100. So, you know, the guy, he called me while I was texting him, and he said, I'll give you 1,500. Is that enough to cover everything? I said, listen, when it comes to money, I feel dirty for asking. I said, so whatever you want to do, what you feel. And then it went to 3,000. Then all of a sudden my phone beeps and it's 3,500. I'm like, dang, dude, like, you know, you did this. He goes, oh, did it go through? All right. Well, kind of like, make me proud. Go do something. Appreciate it. You know, I've talked to, and I'm not trying to step on no one's toes too much, but I started a Facebook page called the Dog Alliance Information Hub. And you can only join if you're a president or a member, like a voting member, I'll say, or part of a board of a organization, club, association from all the states.
So that leaves me out.
You got to start an organization, buddy.
I got an organization.
Interview stories and tales.
See, you start excluding people. That's when the problems start, Chris.
No, this is for I don't want to say a national hound alliance, but I'm not going to wait around for someone to sit around and argue and piddle dick about starting a national association when I can just get people to join a Facebook group and we have a shared collaboration of information, an information collaboration. I don't know, you know, and if there's talk around there still about other hound alliances for organizations that are national, and I've already voiced my opinion how I would do it if I had it. So I don't know.
Well, isn't the guy with the New Mexico Houndsman Association looking for help? That's you're in, Brett. You could be the secretary.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm like Rodney Dangerfield said. I don't want to be a part of anything that would want me to be a part of it.
Yep.
I know how you feel, Brett. I know how you feel. I don't think I had a choice in this matter.
Well, I said, weren't you part of the Utah Hounds Association? He said, yeah. I said, well, now you're part of the Arizona one. He said, what? Just add him as a member.
Yep.
So what are you doing, Chris? I mean, these people that are going to join your group and they're going to join as members. What are your plans? What are you going to strive to do?
Now you stepped in it.
Yeah, one's kind of secret, and you got to be
Secret.
careful. Yeah, hey, they listen. I'm gonna tell you right now. When I run all these IP addresses that come on tonight, I will find somebody that's part of another organization that's not for us. And that's the great thing
Yep.
about being a private investigator. So all these guys that are on here, the ones that are just spying, I'll find who you are. That's the great thing about me being part of this alliance, is because I'll dig into you. And that's what I told that journalist. I said, they can find the bad houndsman in us and make us look bad, but I can also find the bad person in other people's organizations and newspapers that did bad things, and I can make them look bad too.
Do you really
Basically,
think
I'm
that
not.
in this little show they eavesdrop on us?
I absolutely 100% know for a fact.
Listen
Brett,
here,
your
Guarantee
wife
it.
told
Go
listen
ahead.
here, you
Go ahead
bunch of
and guarantee
idiots.
it for me. Go ahead and guarantee it for me, Benny.
Oh yeah, I guarantee it. Well, Brett's wife told him that a gal that she works with, her husband's a game warden, and him and all his buddies are watching. So
Yeah,
hey,
they
But
are.
the
I
game
bet you.
wardens, they're our friends. Not
They are.
yours,
yeah,
Benny, but they're our
Yeah.
friends.
no,
Maybe not
Yeah.
yours.
I'm with the government and I'm here to help.
Yeah, that's a fact too.
They're
Him
not.
and Knucklehead work together.
They're not bad.
Chris, what do you
No,
think rats are
in
listening?
their own circle. There's no sense in them being in my circle.
Yeah, it makes my head hurt to think about it.
I was gonna say something, but I'm not going to now, Benny.
I'm reading comments. Randy said I don't really have a lot of irons in the fire. I got some irons that are that are electric that I can just fire up. I don't have to wait. But it's really not that. It's like I told that reporter, I'm not going to be bullied, and I'm sick of these guys bullying everybody. And I got some plans to go. I don't even want to. I'm not going to say it here because when it comes out, it's going to be something that nobody does as an organization, and all them dummies that. And my thing is, I told that reporter when I did that story, you guys got to read that story. He really did I think he did a decent job on not being far left.
Yeah.
But I did let him know, I know you're far left. That's fine. I said, if you do a good job in this story, you have a story with me for 2 years. This is going to last for the next few years. And I don't mind divulging information to you. But if you twist my words, it's like, we're done. There's no. And I do have another investigative journalist that I'm working with right now that's going to cover every story. So whatever they do, and then they want to make me look stupid, I'm going to make them look stupider.
When you start something like this, Chris, do you need an attorney?
Probably. This is why I got in an argument with the guy last night, and he had called me, and I said it's money, and he said it's not money. Legislature, it's their job. But I said, I don't think you understand how in debt I am just in time. Just time. I'm in debt with time. For me to go have lunch with the couple representatives I know to try to get someone to push forward legislation, that takes my time. Period. And I don't think people know.
That's a lobbyist. That's what people pay lobbyists for because they're better at it and they have the time.
What keyword, Dustin? What'd you say?
That's what
pay.
Love. Yeah. And that's what Utah is trying to fight. Because you know what any lobbyist told us in Utah? 50 grand just to start, and that doesn't guarantee you anything.
Didn't it cost Colorado almost 300 grand just to get the title changed on the ballot initiative? Something outrageous. There's 40 grand just in Instagram and social media stuff. I can only do so much sitting here in my office trailer, and I get an okay response on TikTok and Instagram. I'm working into Instagram.
TikTok's going away.
It ain't going away.
I hope it goes away.
Who's trying to buy TikTok?
I hope it goes away.
TikTok is. I get
TikTok's
more
owned by the Chinese.
So is your Samsung and your iPhone.
Yeah, but they don't.
So
they don't
TV,
influence.
Your laptop.
TikTok sucks. I don't care what you say.
Take the.
I'm gonna agree with Chris.
TikTok sucks. Look at everybody froze up just because we were talking about TikTok. Everybody froze up just because we were talking about
Oh,
TikTok.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
the
thought
Jerry.
Jared
Chinese
was
are in.
crying.
It's not
We had
just
to
the
pause
game
it.
wardens, it's the Chinese. Chinese are
Yeah.
listening too.
But
Mhm.
it's they had this guy on this show, and he had a Roomba,
Yep, that's what I was going.
and that Roomba was connected to a guy's phone for Bluetooth, so you can start it on your phone with Bluetooth and everything. That Roomba had 87 different servers connected to it. All of them were from China.
I don't even know what
And
a
it's a
damn
vac-
Roomba is.
It's
It's
a
a vacuum
vacuum
cleaner.
that vacuums by itself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, my Roomba
It's a
is
mapping.
there in the house fixing dinner tonight.
Oh yeah, that's the most dangerous one. What is that Roomba doing? Mapping your house.
Mhm.
No,
Tell 'em that
see,
whole
you guys
story.
all just fall into it. My gosh. Instagram, Snapchat,
Oh hell.
all this crap.
Yeah, YouTube, they're all the same. It's all on all
Nah.
your Chinese owned equipment you use. It's all recorded. They took cell phones, took SIM cards out, turned them off, and they were still tracking people.
Why do you think they're after TikTok then?
They're after TikTok because of the algorithms. So China has an algorithm made for China, which makes people smarter. America's is just titties and beer. That's
We
all it
like
is.
boobies.
And people who have a real short attention span.
Mm-hmm.
It develops
Literally, if you
that's-
go on China's
short.
TikTok compared to the US's, they're a completely different app.
Yeah.
See? So that's why they should get rid of it.
So,
Well, I mean, look at it this way, Brett. Would you rather an app that half the world uses that can be dumb, or would you rather keep letting China buy farmland and ground in the U.S.?
No, they shouldn't do that either.
No, why worry about an app and start getting rid of anything that China owns in the U.S.?
Well, I think they're going to do a lot of that also. But TikTok is such a big, everybody knows about it. I think
It is. It's a double-edged sword. Like, I agree with Chris and Jared, but I also see your side of it. But TikTok has taken over social media to where that's where everybody finds things. I mean, I'll be honest. I think TikTok had a huge part in Donald Trump spreading, plain and simple.
The Joe Rogan podcast did.
There
He's
were
all over
huge
TikTok.
movements. He's on TikTok. I mean, there's huge movements on there that go both ways. They do. But I'm not going to lie. TikTok has improved my life because it's spread my business so much farther reaching.
It's helped
that
you?
I can, big time. There are so many houndsmen on there, like especially the coon hunters and the deer guys back east and the hog hunters. Like I have a following on TikTok bigger than Instagram and that, but it's 90% houndsmen.
What kind of when you say bigger, what kind of following? How big is the following?
On TikTok?
Yeah.
I'm somewhere in the 50,000s.
And how do they have analytics where when you upload something that you can tell how many people actually watch or how many people see it and everything?
I can see how many people view it, how many people like it, and how many people comment, and how many people reshare it.
So you get a lot of views and everything out of that 50,000?
Yes, on certain videos, and I have it set up to where people can click my link in my bio, and so I see how much traffic directly comes from TikTok versus other sources.
That funnel brings it into you,
and it's huge.
How about the podcast? Is there any way to get analytics from a podcast?
Yeah, if you own the platform.
Yeah, you have to own the platform.
When you say own the platform, I thought Chartable was the one where you could find out about all the podcast information, and then they went under or something.
They still have to log in. It's like knowing what your analytics is on your YouTube. Someone would have to log in and see that. Like my platform, I can log in and it tells me when, where, who, and why, what they're listening
on the podcast.
On my platform, yeah. not W's. They know they can
Well,
look at their.
I was told from W that they couldn't tell.
Well, and maybe they're sending it somewhere else and they don't know. Maybe someone else is doing it for them.
Well, then they could ask somebody else, "Hey, we want to
Yeah, it
see
all
these analytics."
depends on that. I mean, I can tell how many downloads I'm getting and kind of where they're coming from. That's about it.
Yeah, do you have audience retention to see how long they listen or anything like that?
Mine does.
Yeah.
And that is, but is that just through Apple?
No, that's through my platform that I use
I'm
to
with
host it all.
RSS.com. So I can, that's where I go and they send it out to everybody else.
Yeah. See, and I'm through a platform called Libsyn, and they send it kind of the same thing, send it all out, but I have to where I can see how many times that one's been downloaded, where it's going, everything like that.
Well, then to hell with it. Then we're not going to send any more of these to W Hunting Supply because they told me they couldn't get that information.
Oh, they can. I don't know who's running it all for them, but they should be able to at least see how many they can. I mean, I can see how every episode, how many times it's been downloaded, how many downloads it gets in the first 7 days, 30 days, and
Really?
over time.
Yeah. See, the YouTube analytics are extensive. I mean,
Yeah.
you can just find out just about everything you want to know, or everything you need to know, really.
I think YouTube's one of the most meticulous ones there is. I think but they've had a lot of years to create it.
Oh yeah, they've been around a long time.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they have people making millions off showing you how to do it. So, and those guys have been there since what, 2005? Isn't that when it started? Kind of.
2008, I thought, is when it.
But I was still chasing girls back then. I couldn't tell you.
I was trying to learn how to live off grid.
Yeah, I caught one. Yeah, I caught a good one.
I caught one, and and because I caught her and it's been there so long, I still have to chase her and run her down now.
I got her to change it. She chases me now, Benny.
Oh yeah, there's all different phases.
You're going to have to teach us that trick.
You ignore them. Just ignore a woman; she'll chase you.
Hey,
what is that?
Hey,
little rat.
So, did we ever get to what you're going to be doing, Chris? I mean, what are your plans as far as your activities?
Like I've told people, I'm not a club. You know what I mean? I'm not really an organization. I'm not an association. We're an alliance. So my goal is just to work with everybody I can. The falconers, the bird hunters, the hog hunters. You know, I just sent Ed Barnes a little thing he's going to put in his magazine about AWDA. I sent Full Cry a little article. So hopefully they know how to edit real good.
Did you reach out to Cat Hunter?
Oh, no, I didn't. I actually forgot about it.
Because their first issue is coming out.
Is it? See, I got to write it down now.
That's a guy out of Utah.
I can't reach enough people. I need somebody who does just is bound in a wheelchair that don't leave the house, that just sits there on social media and does nothing but make contacts. No one blocked you.
I don't even know how to block somebody.
Never mind. Never mind. Well, how do you say you blocked me when you blocked me on it, Trevin? Come on.
Come on, Trevin.
Here goes our first thumbs down.
Did we get any thumbs down yet? We usually get one.
Well, yeah.
We don't get enough thumbs up, though.
No. You know, that's what's crazy about social media, and is you'll have 60,000 followers, you'll have 14,000 views on a video, and you have 100 likes. I'm like, you can't just hit that like button.
Yeah.
But it's tough. I mean, I know those guys in Colorado. I know they had to have massive social media people working on that. It's tough. I mean, Dustin, how long do you stay every day working on social media? I mean,
I'm on social media just posting and trying to trying to engage a little bit, but also looking for certain trends and videos. I'm on social media 2 to 3 hours a day at least.
No kidding.
Same with me.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, with growing business right now, Brett, that's how you have to do it.
Oh no, I
You know?
understand that. I
Mhm.
understand that.
Yeah.
There is no more classifieds.
No. Yeah, like
So how much
I run
how much do you post every day
at least once, if not twice,
on
depending on the
I-
platform.
on
And then I
Instagram and
repost
TikTok
his.
and
Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and I'm looking into a few others now as well. So, definitely most of my stuff starts on TikTok, but I've always had Instagram and Facebook ever since I started this.
but I mean, I guess that's the difference is you can use, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok as a sales funnel to bring them into your business to be able to
Oh
sell
yeah,
something.
that's the only reason I'm on there. If
I
I
know
didn't have a business, I'd be gone.
I know people that have, on YouTube, they'll have, 10,000 subscribers is all, but they're
Mhm.
running a $300,000 a year business through it.
Oh yeah.
Because of how specific the niche is and how they funnel it to. I mean, the biggest money is made through any kind of digital download. If you can come up with a digital download and sell
Digital product.
and sell
Yep.
it for $10, and you get 10,000 people to buy into it.
Speaking of social
definitely.
media, read that article that came out with my beautiful face right there in the front. Beautiful face. It was the dog's face, not mine. Kelly Glenn Kimbrough pretty much said, quit posting stupid shit
Yeah, she
on
did.
social media. He put
Yep.
all that in there. That's what I liked about this guy.
Oh, he talked to Kelly?
Yeah, you know what?
Well, he quoted a lot of stuff from the Fish and Game Commission meeting, Brett. He pulled direct quotes from the recordings, and that's where he got a lot of that from.
That's what I was calling you about today. I was going to say you made the article. I was going to tell you made the article.
Yeah, I did. He put a couple quotes in there. But
Uh,
to go back, Brett, what you were saying about like my sales funnels, like I can post a new product on TikTok and then I can watch my analytics on my website climb from that hour the rest of the day because of people see a new product, they'll click and go look at it. It's instant.
Do you know what your conversion rate is?
Yeah, my website shows it all. So some did like a 6 to 7% conversion rate, which is decent. Anything 2 is good, but I mean, right now where I sit at 5 or 6 is decent.
Yeah. So if you get 1,000 people to come, everybody froze up again.
Something they really want. Like when I dropped that Only Hounds sweatshirt, holy cow, my phone was going crazy.
Really?
Everybody loved that play on the OnlyFans, just changing it to Only Hounds because we're all a bunch of smartasses. But,
yeah, no kidding. That's cool.
Yeah, I can just watch that with social media, the direct correlation of when I post about certain products, because I can tag those products, especially on Instagram and Facebook, so they can click on it right there and order it from Instagram or Facebook.
Yeah.
You don't even have to go to my website.
Well, that's, basically what happens with and of course, I don't try to sell a whole lot of stuff, but through my spread shop. And then, of course, my Amazon links. And then with OnX and Olight and all these people I have codes with, people use that code or click on it. And I know exactly, what the conversion is. Because then I get a kickback from it.
Yep.
Can you grab me that Diet Coke, please?
They used a quote where I look good defending the game and fish. Said, I don't have any doubt that the commission will do their job to protect Arizona in its best interest in conservation and wildlife management. So my message here today is more for the groups that have brought forth the petition. He put, Arizona sportsmen know what is coming and who is bringing it. And I'm here to warn those that are bringing it. We are not just one sportsman anymore, we're many. That's my iconic speech, I guess.
Yep.
Save that. Oh.
I was looking for Kelly's. And they
It's
actually
about halfway down.
Yeah, and they actually put a link to the the petition that they put forward also.
Yep.
So you can read what they put on the petition, and it's really whatever.
A lot of false
Mm-hmm.
BS.
So Kelly Kimbrough, you see what he quote here. My dog that I had with me hit the track, and I didn't ever imagine it was a Jaguar. My dad and grandpa hunted as guides and predator management for years when I was a little girl. I grew up on it. When I was 17, I started hunting with them and started being a hounds person. Where is... well, then it was... Oh, this was... I didn't like this part. He put in there, while the animal is cornered, hunters can take time... Oh, no, that's what she put. While the animals are cornered, hunters can take time to estimate the age of the animal and determine the sex and decide whether to kill or release. He had to use that word kill. But...
Yep.
Jeremiah, I don't have a code for W Hunting Supply. They have T-shirts and sweaters and everything with my logo on them, and they've sent me some money from where they've sold some. Of course, I don't. With my Born 100 Years Too Late, I don't do anything with them on that. It's just through this interview, stories and tales.
Yeah.
So there. Oh, value pack dog food, guys. If you're a houndsman, you have access to value pack dog food.
Mm-hmm.
They're supporting us, right, Chris?
Yeah. They called me and we're working out a deal. So,
I got to deal with them.
I know that they talked to you. Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's going to be for everything, of course, for this too, but then also through my Born 100 Years Too Late. Because I always got hounds with me, and I'm always having to feed them. So, and I fed their dog. They supported me one time before, but I had to have a distributor within the area so I could get the dog food. And the little shop that was in Las Cruces went out of business, so I couldn't get the dog food anymore. But a friend of mine owns a big hardware store there in Hatch, and Village Hardware. So if you're ever going through Hatch, stop in and talk to Zane and tell him, buy something and tell him where you heard from it, because I talked to him and he said, oh yeah, we'll carry it for you. So I put them together, Value Pack and that store, and they're going to be carrying Value Pack dog food. So
there you go.
That worked out real well.
They're
good people. I mean, just verbal, just talking to them, word of mouth. Oh yeah, we can do that, no problem. And the guy I deal with, Brian, he's a super good guy.
I interviewed a guy the other day at somewhere down around there for my podcast. An old kind of dirt lion hunter that just hunts lions down there. It's pretty interesting. It should come out tomorrow.
Who is it?
Sean Wimberly.
I know Sean. Sean's got some of my dogs.
Yeah, he was interesting to talk to. He's kind of got dogs from a little bit of all over, and it was fun talking to him. So,
when's the next hound rendezvous dates? Probably August 22nd, 23rd, 24th, if it works out all right. If it works out, I got to get hold of Casey.
Casey just sent me a picture of a litter of puppies on the ground. For a video.
He's a breeder now.
You still got to come down here and pick out your pup.
Oh. I hope my wife ain't watching this. Thanks, Jared.
I'm just saying.
Oh, pick up that pup I have to deliver to somebody else. I'll mix it in with... I'll throw it in with somebody and say, wow, she had a pup.
I'm only keeping this litters because my buddy told me it might not be a bad idea.
You never know. Never know when a dog can turn out.
Well, the hound side of it's great. I mean, they're some of my best dogs. The cur, she was a great dog, but she wasn't great at the tree. She'd start pulling on other dogs at the tree. And it was an accidental litter, but we'll see what happens with it.
Sounds like a bear dog.
He was telling me that Um,
Man, things are freezing
yeah,
up all the time now.
my buddy was telling me that. Excuse me. You bring the hot nosed dogs in, they're usually right on a lion kill 90% of the time compared to a hound.
Now, repeat that, Jared. What'd you say?
So I was talking to my buddy, and he was telling me about a famous lion hunter that lives in Arizona that crosses his hounds up with cow dogs, curs, whatever. And he gets a phone call about a lion kill. He'll bring their cur hound crosses in first, and if they don't get the track started, he'll go back to the trailer and grab his hounds. But if they do get the track started, the cur hound crosses, if they do get the track started, they're usually right on the track 90% of the time.
What's the guy, David? What was his over there in Arizona? He used to cross his hounds, bird dog into him, pointer.
Old guy or
Probably
young guy?
no, it's a guy that he used
Dave
to help out Fisher. Brian Fisher.
Dave Carlson. Dave Carlson.
Yeah, he lived up by Prescott.
Yeah, exactly. He just disappeared, went off the map. I talked to him several times, and all of a sudden he's gone. I don't know if he died or just quit. We used to
Maybe
buy
he's in
his.
jail.
He used to do those. I think I've said it before, but he used to make those report cards. You'd send him a dog, and he'd train the dog, and he'd make these report cards for you, and they were video report cards. And he was. It was funny as hell to listen to him. I mean, he would just cuss a blue streak, and he'd say like, "Yeah, I'm on this stinking jackass, and those dogs are on the other side of the canyon. It's going to take me 4 hours to get over." He was funniest could be listened to. He's a good houndsman. We froze again? Jared's
No,
not.
we're good.
Chris is
No, I don't
froze.
think so.
It's those antis. They're getting after him now.
Yep.
Chinese.
Someone's dogs are barking.
Those
That's
are I got
Jared.
two black and tan pups, and they're raising hell.
Breed a Walker to a Saint Bernard.
That'd be an interesting looking cross.
Trail up the beer keg.
Yep.
Chris is gone now. We lost our Arizona Alliance guy. Don't know what to do now.
Maddie. Want me to hold her or what? Come here.
There, he's back. What happened?
It just froze up. Everybody froze up.
We were all still here.
I don't know what happened. I got good. I tested my speed, and that was all great.
So, do you have an address? How do they get a hold of you to donate or to join the association or the alliance?
Go to azwda.com. Got PayPal. I had Venmo, but they messing with me right now. And then I have Zelle and I have credit card. Just put in your credit card information and I run it.
And that's good for a year. And then when they do that, they're eligible for a drawing for a collar, right?
Yep. Garmin TT25 thanks to Cold Strike Gear. Shameless plug right there.
Yeah, I'll let you do it.
Yep. I don't know when we're going to end it. I kind of put the month of January, so you guys got to join in January. I don't want to drag it out.
Yep.
No, yeah. Got to give them some urgency.
Mm-hmm.
I thought a little bird told me that Garmin didn't allow stuff like that.
They will.
They don't do it.
You have to make sure you do it the right way, and I can donate the collar. It just can't be advertised like in a certain way. So yeah, I had to make sure before I gave one away myself a month or two ago.
Yep. There's always a gray area. There's always a loophole. Anyway, sign up, donate. I usually make everybody who donates even a member, so you can have a member number. I got the numbers. We're at about 20 right now that's paid, so paid or donated. Became a member or donated, but they'll all be members. So some people have donated $150, $300. So it's like, and every $50 you donate is another entry in the fee in the drawing. So if you donate $150, that's 3 times the entry. So there
Where'd
you
you
go.
get those black and tan pups, Jared?
The dog
From
pound.
my buddy up north. This is out of a female that I have, her sister. This is out of her sister, so they're a little rambunctious and loud right now. Little hellions. But I will say this, that black and tan female I have, I hunted her 5 days in a row and we trailed sun up to sundown every day. And she didn't slow up or slip a pad or anything. You can treat them like rented mules.
Rick, it's the AZWDA.com, the Arizona Working Dog Alliance.
How do we put links up on here?
I don't know. I can't even type messages on here. I think Brett blocked me.
I can't even see messages.
You have to click the little message thing on the top right corner.
I don't see it.
Lunch break. It's a little late for lunch break, Wayne.
You working nights, something. So we're going to do things a little different. We're going to do as much as we can to play offense for sure.
Yeah.
Because I think the things we're doing, like I said, nobody really does. And most of the time, organizations and clubs, anybody who gets involved, it's the last minute and you can't wait to the last minute. I've heard things on other states that I asked them, I said, hey, what are you guys doing? Well, there's no legislature right now. And I'm all, what? Like, this is when you should be doing something.
Yeah.
It's making
if you
your
wait
presence
till then,
known.
it's too late.
Yeah.
Look at that. That David Carlson, who died in January 2021 in Phoenix. I'll be dang.
Bill Herring know him.
Oh,
did you know him, Bill?
Probably why he got out of it then, huh?
Yeah, he just disappeared all of a sudden. He must have got sick, and because I liked him. I mean, he was a different sort of guy, but I liked him.
Older fella?
No, not probably about my age, I guess.
Yeah.
This was a long time ago. I think this was in the 90s or something.
Big game Houndsman.
This is the best segue right here into what we're talking about. And I mean, people know him, know his name, but there's no story about him. And I think in order to keep some of our traditions, we need those interviews. We need those stories, whether it's written, video, podcasted.
I have some. Of course, we all went down. Me and Benny went down, talked to Warner, Glenn, and Kelly. And then I got one, the very first one I ever did, and I've never made it public. I drove all the way to Tennessee, and I talked to an old man who hunted with Dale Lee down in Mexico. And then he went to Washington, and he lived and trapped for a living and hunted up in Canada. Quite an interesting guy. I mean, and he's since passed away. Well, then there's another guy that was in Idaho that hunted with Dale Lee. And I went up there and interviewed him.
He just did a podcast.
Huh?
The guy in Idaho just did a podcast with on Wild Chaos.
What's his name?
Let me look.
David Carlson was 81 years old when he died.
So he was quite a bit older than.
Probably what you thought.
Yeah. This was a long time ago. I didn't really pay attention to how old he was. I talked to him quite a bit. And you get his
George
name, Jared?
Pavey? Yeah, George Pavey.
Peavy, yeah,
George,
that's him.
and then his last name. It was a great podcast. He did it with Dustin. Might know him. You remember Bam on Instagram?
Yeah.
Dustin?
I didn't even know there was anybody else doing interviews like that.
Well, Bam does just hunting people, military people.
Everybody
and,
then, yeah.
Everybody. And he, from a friend of a friend, he got a hold of George, and it is a great podcast. It's called Wild Chaos, and then it's the George Pavey one.
I've got probably 2 hours of interview with him. But see,
wow.
there's a big controversy, and that's how I got involved in it. There was a man who called me, and I'm not going to say his name, and he sent me a recording that he did when he talked to him. Well, they all went down to Mexico, and there was a big fight that broke out. And
was this when they stole the dogs?
No. This is they all partied one night, and cook.
Is that the story that we didn't know we could tell?
Yeah, I hate to throw anybody under the bus, but these guys throw George under the bus. Let me tell you that.
Gotcha.
And
can we tell that story yet?
I've got it. I got everybody on tape talking about it, and to a certain extent. When I'm sitting there talking to Charlie Settles and I talk about the cook and the Mexican who beat the cook and his eyes popped out of his head, and I mention that to him, he looks down like this, and I got it on video. He looks down like this and he starts doing his thumbs like this. And he said, well, he said, I don't remember a whole lot about that. Just like this, and you could tell he gets nervous as hell because they were supposed to take that. Well, I shouldn't tell it all. I'm going to wait until I put it all together.
You're kind of waiting until there's nobody existing anymore in that podcast.
Yeah, treat it like the Kennedy files.
I hate to, because there's a lot of, just the Charlie Settles interview all by itself is outstanding. That guy was just a gem. He was an old man. When I interviewed him, he was in his 80s, and I interviewed him probably, 10 years ago, something like that.
How come no one's interviewed Sam Derringer?
I don't know.
Well, I think we're the only ones that interviewed Allen, weren't we? Jeff Allen?
Jeff Allen, yeah.
He's never been on nobody.
Well, he came on our live, didn't he? He came on our live, didn't he?
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah.
I actually called him. I actually was talking to him about dogs. I said, hey, you ought to just jump over here. And he actually said, yeah. I think I texted him like, hey, you won't believe who I got to come on. And
who we need to get on is Sam Natole. We have to talk to his daughter, and she can set it up for us, or for him. And because he was making videos there for a while and everything.
That are at the very edge of their life that still remember stuff. And that's the stories you need. Young people are great.
There's a guy right there in Hillsboro. He's right there too, Brett. I talked to him last week, and he's busy, he's overwhelmed, and he's been sick.
Harley Shaw?
Yep.
I've talked to Harley several times on the phone. And there's that other biologist is up there that's probably spent more time with collared lions than anybody in the world. But he won't do an interview.
He won't go on the record.
No, he won't go on an interview. But
I haven't ever found you told me that I think you told me that you released the now I just lost his name. The judge in Tucumcari.
The judge in Tucumcari. Joel?
Yeah, Joel Garnett. I haven't ever found that in your interviews.
Did I sit down and interview him? I don't think I
You
did I?
Yeah, you did. You went up there and interviewed him.
See, that's probably one of my memories I'm having a hard time with.
We're gonna have to stay on Brett about this.
I didn't think I did it. Well, honestly, I got kind of disgusted. I mean, you couldn't get any sponsorship, couldn't get anybody to help. And these old guys, you can't get them on a live like this. You got to go to them. And
Yeah.
Yep.
you
It's
have to go.
hard.
And it makes a better interview when you go and you sit down and you turn on a camera and you have the good. I got the really good recorders and everything. Sit down and just talk to them. You know, like Mike Root or Rick Dickerson or any of all these other guys I did. But you just can't get much interest in it. I mean, people like to listen to it, but that's about
Well,
it.
I think if you went to the expense of putting them on DVDs and stuff, you could sell them. But there's a lot more expense up front too.
Well, I mean, I
No one
guess.
uses
I
a
don't know if you
DVD
could or
player
not.
anymore.
What's that?
You know,
No one uses a DVD player anymore.
no, nope.
I don't.
They've all it all gets transferred to
Everything's streamed.
yeah. Well, and it all gets transferred to MP4.
Yep.
You know, and it kind of sucks because go on your camera, your phone camera, and you'll have thousands of pictures, and how many of them actually get printed and put in a photo album?
They don't.
That's
my.
that's what I send. You get 100 free, basically, on Snapfish photos, 4x6 every month.
They
and then
send
I'll
them
order
to you.
You have to pay for shipping, so it's like $10 for 100 pictures, and that's what I do. I go through my phone and send them all, and you can edit them if you want, and then I'll order like some 8x10s of bears or people with bears or lions, whatever. But it's the digital world. You don't have DVDs sitting there. Like when I did a radio show, they burned a CD for me when it was done and gave it to me. So I have the CDs for it, and I need to throw all those on, transfer them to MP3. So,
Well, I sold quite a few of the Dale Lee CDs. I sold quite a few of those, but most of it I just wanted to make it public. Put it up online and so everybody could have access to it. And I paid for them. I mean, it cost me. I paid for the rights of those.
yep, and it wasn't $20.
No, it was a lot more than that.
But and then you got Dustin. He's doing a lot of young people, and it's
Yeah.
great because in 20 years you can go back and find that and be like, I remember her.
Say,
or
you
him."
little lion bastard.
Yeah, you son of a bitch. But these days too, I've had conversations with people. I think even on the show that most hound guys in the 60s and 70s. Look at Mike Roos. He got into it with nothing, still into it. 40, 50 years later, 30 years later. A lot of your houndsmen, because of social media, they get into it like that, quick.
Yep.
Because they go with you, they see you tree a bear in 30 minutes. The only time you've done it in the last 6 months, or you tree a line quick, or you jump a line, or you go in the snow, and then they want dogs. And then they'll go buy, people will give them dogs, or they'll buy a dog. But even a bought dog, if you don't know how to run dogs, and this is my opinion, everybody gets mad at me, but if you don't know how to run dogs and you go buy a dog, you don't know how do you read them? That's why I've always said, I think you're a better houndsman if you raise puppies when you first get into it.
Well,
Because I think you learn how to read a dog.
Chris, there was a real good quote from that. There was that drunk guy that used to hunt all the time, and he said that you need to learn how to speak dog.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember who that guy was. He's always drunk.
And I agree. I agree with that, Benny. I agree with you, Chris. But you're gonna learn from a pup. I see it both ways, because if I had my advice, I would tell someone, find a mentor if you can, but buy a finished dog and puppies, 2 puppies, and run them with that finished dog, because that finished dog is gonna teach you how to learn and how to speak dog how to read these dogs because he knows what he's supposed to be doing per se. Whereas a pup is gonna bark, trail, do anything, everything. So I kind of see it both ways. Like I
No,
And make
love
sure
raising a dog
I
from
get
a
it.
pup.
Right. Mentor.
and make sure
Period.
that
Yeah,
that broke dog is broke in broke
yeah,
Yeah.
company, or not just
exactly.
broke in broke company, but broke, because there's a lot of those broke dogs. You turn them with a bunch of pups, they could become unbroke.
Oh, you're not
Oh,
a
and you
kidding.
turn
You
them with
know,
a you turn them with a new handler, and they're not broke anymore either.
Yeah, pretty soon they
yeah,
look at you and
every
say,
dog's
this guy doesn't know what this is. This is
Well, look at my kids when they feed the dogs. My kids, they're 10 years old. They go out and feed the dogs. And I know when they're feeding because they bark. And this is no lie. I'll open my dogs are that way, 30, 40 yards. When they hear my door open on my office trailer, I have to open it real quiet. If they hear it open, all of a sudden there's no barking. If I walk through those cedar trees and they see me, they all go to their box because I
yeah,
don't put up with that.
my dogs are clear across the pasture out here, and
Mhm.
they get to barking at night, and my wife will say, those dogs are raising Cain. All I got to do is open that back door. I open the back door. They can just sense you coming out.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But today, and this is how it is too. For one, I kind of started some drama with a neighbor about some stuff. And he's, anyways, the only reason I can't be as big as buttholes I want to be is because I have these dogs. The good thing is I only got, I don't know, 10 or 12 dogs out here, but I have my property subdivided. I have 4 lots. So if they say I only need 3, I'll unhook that chain. I'll go put them on that property, and I'll hook 3 and I'll put them on that property. They can't do nothing to me. But I did see and because of AWDA, like those people are sneaky. You can't just go out there and kick a dog because there's a guy, those people will stand out there and wait till they get a good picture. A good example is that guy who beat up that Labrador. You guys see all that video?
Mm-mm.
Did you,
oh
anybody?
yeah,
Damn, I don't like
big
And
that.
big deal. Like
it was
he went
pretty
to
bad.
jail.
Yeah. But it was it was ridiculous. But those anis, they literally have no life except for what they're doing. It's like the AWDA. If you're going to pay me $100,000 a year like those guys make, I'm going to sit here right here and I'm going to go run around. And I'm gonna find out what those CBD people do wrong. I'm gonna find out what these other people do wrong. The safari or the whatever, all those stupid groups. I'm gonna sit there. I'm a private investigator. I can legally stalk you. I'll look you up, and I'll get a picture of you with an underage girl, just like you'll get a picture of me kicking my dog back because he's trying to eat food before I'm done walking away. And they'll do that. So I see the county animal control guy coming down a road. And I literally we called back home and said, hey, go shut our gates. Because people will call on me. I've been called on before, but if it's anonymous, they can't write you a ticket.
Yep.
Because there's no witness. And I've had 100 times people, the animal guy, one of them is actually my daughter's father-in-law later on in life. And he called me and he says, hey, I got a complaint. I said, well, is it anonymous or someone? He goes, it's anonymous. I said, well, what do you want to know? He goes, how many dogs you got here? I said, 3. He says, 3 dozen. I said, I don't know. Someone might have dropped off some dogs there when I was gone. You got to know your laws, for one. But when you get put in a position, and I've heard Dan Gates. Dan Gates has a podcast, and he talked about them targeting him and being just idiots. And they'll do that. Just like the whole trapping thing in the 90s. The fur guy we used to sell to, they firebombed his shop. Like they threatened to kill his family.
Jeez.
And I'm just, and some people aren't built to respond, but I'm not built to not respond. I'm built to not respond. I can't not respond. I just don't put up with it. And that's been my message is we're not going to let these people bully the game and fish. We're not going to let them bully the organizations. We're not going to let them bully the common voter with their emotional crap because it's all false, literally false. There's another article I found. And there's a guy on there. His name is like Veganer or something. He's a vegan, and he's talking about how cruel we all are. And I said, vegans kill more animals than anybody in the world. Go see how all the animals are killed off the lettuce fields or the organic kale fields. Thousands and thousands of animals are killed. So what's the difference? If a life is a life, what's the difference between a mouse or a lion? But for
Go
some
ask my
reason, they
wife
have
how
this
many fawns.
Mice are
majestic.
pretty small.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Go
That's
ask
the
my
only
wife how
difference.
many fawns she ran through a swather.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
My
So
wife
I
used to
mean,
cut hay or help me cut hay. The first cutting was always bad.
Oh yeah.
you know,
Well, it's every
they
And the
say.
time they
fawns.
plow a field. Every time
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah.
plow a field, the planet, you kill a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
Well,
and they say,
fawns.
oh,
Them little baby deer don't run when a swather coming. They lay
they lay
down.
Nope.
down. And right now the big deal. Oh my, I don't know if you guys been on is coyotes. There is
Yep.
post after post. Well, coyotes are breeding right now. Keep your animals in. You know, if you kill a
Oh,
coyote, 10 more will come in. Well, then you kill those 10. Uh,
Yeah.
Coyotes are like
What's hard about
rats.
that? It's basic math.
Mm-hmm.
Buy more
Just
bullets.
I'm still trying to figure out where that biologist frickin' survey come from. Where if you kill one coyote, 3 more show up. I I can't
it's
figure
not.
that one out for the
I
life of me.
I've hunted coyotes since I could walk. I mean, I was killing a coyote a day, and it didn't make a
Yeah.
difference. The only time it's made a difference when they moved 50,000 houses down where I grew up, and all of those. And I think there was a bunch of videos coming out. The trend was coyote calling, predator calling.
Mm-hmm.
I would find coyote calls in places I used to call from people. So and it knocked them down. It did knock them down, but there ain't a day you can't go find a coyote.
No,
oh,
they're everywhere.
I mean, I'm living where I don't want to live in the middle of houses right now, and I have videos of coyotes in the houses, in the park,
Oh
here
yeah.
just outside of Phoenix. They're everywhere. They
Mm-hmm.
live in the middle of town. There's coyotes everywhere, and you
This
can't kill
morning
them.
on the news, this morning on the news in Albuquerque, they showed some coyotes. They called it in the metro. So it's in town. And there there was one coyote, there was a gal jogging, and the coyote was trotting along in the street beside her, paralleling her. And then they showed some more coyotes walking along together in groups of 3. And one coyote laid down in the gutter, just right there in broad daylight. And I got a kick out of this. My wife asked me what I was laughing so hard about. This moron reporter says, don't approach the coyotes. They're wild animals. But if they approach you, stick your hand out at arm's length and hold your palm open wide and say stop. And that will let them know that they are no longer welcome to get closer. Stupid sons of bitches.
I did that to my wife, and she came after me and bit me. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. I promise. And every animal, and sometimes that might work to some dog that's scared, but like with bears, stand up and make yourself known. There's some bears that just they don't give a crap. They know they're dominant
Wow.
and they'll eat you.
Oh
Just like
yeah.
foxes. Uh, there's rabbits that are crazy.
Look at who's in the comments there. Cody King.
I said,
I seen
you
that.
should jump on and hang out. He said, man, I'd love to, but my phone is almost dead and I'm crawling in the bed. Maybe next week.
There you go.
Another Cody King catch.
Hey, show the.
Look at the
Did
high
he
fence.
get?
Look
Did
at
he
the
give
high
you?
fence. Look at the high fence in the background. He's hunting lions behind a high fence.
Yeah, but did he send you the picture of what that lion killed?
Yeah.
That's a massive black buck. That's a trophy. Look at the set of horns on this black buck.
How big you think that cat was, Jared?
That's a piddly little
50
cat.
pounds. Yeah, 50
It's
pounds.
got to be
Still
bigger
got
than
spots
50
on the
pounds.
legs.
Well, I don't know how big those are. Those small? That cat
black
looks
buck.
Black
thick
bucks are
though.
kind of like the size of a coos deer, a little bit bigger than a coos deer, maybe.
I
Go
bet
to
you
that
that
other
cat's
picture,
bigger than
Brett.
50 pounds.
What?
He's on a
Did he
whole
send?
tailgate.
Did he send you the other picture of the black buck by itself, like the lion by itself?
No, just that one.
One on the tailgate.
Okay.
I mean, to me, it looks like it's bigger than 50 pounds. It's on the whole
That's a
tailgate, but look how
tailgate on a
thick he
side
is.
by side.
No,
That's a
I'm just
tailgate
showing
on
the
the
big
side,
picture
that's
of it.
Oh,
We don't want to.
But
It was a small. It was a small lion, but it was hunting trophy black bucks.
That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
the black buck that it killed is a massive black buck.
You didn't see that picture I just put up, Benny?
No, I did.
the one on.
But he sent me
Oh.
another picture of the black buck laying on its side where you can see it better. And those horns go almost all the way down the length of its back. And I've seen a bunch of black bucks in Texas, and they're really something. And they're a high dollar prize. So that young lion was really pushing his luck to kill something of that value.
Look like a small lion, but looked like he'd been eating pretty good.
Big
Yeah.
old belly.
Eating exotics.
That's a good question. There's one question I've always wondered is, all the cute little animals in the world, why everybody so infatuated with predators?
Because their eyes are faced forward.
Well, there's a thing about there's a psychological thing about animals that have the whites of their eyes. That's more than 50 pounds. That's bigger than a dog. That thing's 80 pounds, right? Maybe.
Yeah, could be.
He's a thick
I'll bet
cat.
it's-
Cody's 6'8".
Yeah, Cody's a big
That's
guy.
true.
He might not
That's
be
a
that
bigger
tall,
than
but
a
he is a big
50-pound
guy.
cat. Look how thick his head was. I mean, everything looked big on him. Maybe it's just winter and he's
It's a
fur
tom.
coated.
No, it's a tom lion. It's a young tom.
Lion's a lion.
Lion's a lion.
That's right. That's right.
3-year-old girl was attacked in Michigan by a coyote. Well, she shouldn't have been where the coyote used to live, right?
That's
Isn't that
right.
what that's what
She
the
was in the
anti-say?
coyote's territory.
Mm-hmm. I see it all the
Yeah,
time.
just go.
All the time.
If you have any questions about lions, just go on the animal lion or mountain lion sightings, and they will inform you.
Oh
They know
man,
everything.
that place is a
I
an
re-
cesspool.
Hell.
That thing will suck you in. Don't comment. You
Oh.
comment, you're going to be there. And
There-
you just can't
you
fathom
go,
what they
guys.
say. Ooh, I was close. I was close.
Right on. Yeah, you nailed it.
80 pounds.
He just looked thick.
Full of
like
meat.
he looked like a
So you're
thick
talking.
meat, thick, maybe 10 pounds
Yeah,
meat.
yeah, 65, 70-pound lion.
There you go. Edible too. Just like a young elk, right? Young buck, more tender meat, maybe.
I've ate lion. I don't really care for it.
I love
Really?
it. I'll eat a
I
lion
like
over an elk.
I didn't care for it. Maybe it's
Never
the way it was
eaten one.
prepared.
It depends on,
I've
just
never-
like with bear. I've had people say bear tastes sandy and gritty, but I mean up here it's a lot of acorn, grass, berries. Like,
Yeah, it depends on
I
what
don't-
they're eating, I would imagine.
if they're eating out of the garbage cans, maybe, they're behind. There was a Chinese place over here, food place behind a store, and they would get into those dumpsters.
So they were
they-
eating a lot of Peking duck and house cat.
I was going to say,
It's
did
all
they taste
chicken.
like
Yeah.
It was all chicken. I used to walk in their kitchen, and there'd be chicken heads and feet just everywhere. They used to scrape their plates for me, and then I would feed my pigs. My bobcat scale went to 75 pounds, and I just barely maxed out.
Okay.
Yep.
I
That's a
think the
guy you
best
need to do
wild
an
game
interview. How
I've
come you
ever-
haven't? Go ahead.
Yeah. What about Cody? I was gonna say the best wild game I've ever eaten, I think, is oryx or gimbal
Oryx.
spot.
Oryx is the best. It is so good. That's the only I put in. I drew that one and killed him out here. I mean, it just tastes so good. The only reason I did is because we were given a bunch of meat, and we got them thick. I mean, just day before yesterday, I was up there and I counted 15 right here.
Hmm.
We lost Chris again.
Yep, he gone.
He's back.
Yell at dog. Interviews. What do you think, Brett? Future of interviews with houndsmen. Is it worth it? Should more people get involved? Should these companies?
Well, it'd be good. I mean, it's fun to do. I thought it, when I first started out, like I said, I thought that, I always made my little videos that I make, but I thought that the interviews were of the most value, documenting these guys' stories. And, I mean, but it's just not, other people don't see it that way.
Is it other people or companies, you think?
Companies.
Is that what you're meaning there, Brett? Yeah, because I mean, interviews with old houndsmen have great value to us that enjoy the hounds, but companies, they don't care about our traditions. They care about sale of products.
Well, I mean, when W first came out with their podcast, no one was listening to their stuff unless it was one of your interviews for a long time.
Oh yeah, that's what people love, is just to listen to people talk about hunting and dogs and how they got into it and interesting hunt stories.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Especially back
that's
when
what I want to listen to.
Yeah, especially when you say you started back in 1955 or 1960, that was back in the glory days.
I've talked about that gap.
Oh, yeah.
We've talked about that gap to where right now we're listening to people who hunted in the 70s and 80s. So in 20 years, they're going to listen to people who hunted in the 90s and 2000s. In 20 more years, it's going to be people who hunted where we are now. 40 years from now, they're going to be like, yeah, he was born in 75. Oh, he got to hunt in 2000 and in the 2000s, 2020s, where you guys could still use GPS collars and actually go out and hunt. You're not even allowed to own a hound no more.
Yep.
Oh.
Just like when you guys interviewed, gosh darn it, Joe Hott, and he was talking about kicking the lion.
Oh,
Joe.
Like, that's an awesome story.
Joe Hott.
That guy's a character, yeah.
I've hunted with him.
He saw the Lee boy's brother die.
Yeah. When he was a kid.
When he was a kid.
He remembers when they came to the house, and he still remembers how he felt about it.
Mm-hmm. Like that's never gonna, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the hard part now about today. I mean, it's just like some of these interviews Brett has, is you can't broadcast some of these old timer stories anymore because we'll get crucified for it.
Yeah, you can't broadcast them without well, we were talking about that today, right, Brett?
Yeah.
The people that said your dogs are skinny or.
Oh yeah, I got one. I got
that little story. It's kind of a funny story, actually. What you told them.
Which one was that? Though I had got a lot of.
Where you said you don't feed your dog.
Oh, the one where. Yeah,
for 5 days.
You don't feed them at all, and if they you eat them.
Yeah, they said that. Said you. What did you feed your dogs or whatever? What did you feed your animals? You're supposed to take care of them before you take care of yourself. And I told them, I said, well, I responded. I said, I only feed them once every 5 days, and that's only if I remember. And they wrote back, and they commented back and said, well, you are a cruel person, and this and that and the other thing. And they said something else, and I said, well, it's really not that bad, because if they die, then I get to eat them.
That's going to be a poster comment somewhere. One day in 10 years when they use that video and comment on there, we're going to say, we knew that guy. That dog eating, they're gonna call him dog eater, just like we called liver eater. Who is they call it? Jeremiah
Liver eating
Johnson.
Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
They'll be
Mule
dog
eating
Brett.
Vaughn.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Vegan. They'll call him Vegan Vaughn, like when you call a big guy tiny.
Well, you just get some crazy comments. I mean, some of them. The one I told it earlier. The one I got tickled about, and I laughed. I mean, I literally laughed out loud when I read it. Said, and some guy clicked on the video out of curiosity, and he didn't stay to watch the whole video, and he said, "Wow, that's all I need is to watch a fat man on a mule right across the Sahara Desert."
On a donkey. Didn't he say a donkey?
On a donkey. Oh, yeah. I see a fat man on a donkey right across the Sahara Desert. I got tickled at that. I thought that was pretty good.
But you watched it. He watched it still. He still watched it.
He watched some of it. I bet he clicked off.
Yeah.
I bet he clicked off right away. But, I couldn't help but get tickled about that. I didn't take offense at it.
Can't tell you how many times I've listened to the Ruben Lassman interview.
Ruben. But still, one of my favorites is Mike Root. I mean, because, of course, I heard about Mike Root in the 80s. I mean, I went up there to try to get a dog from him in 1981 or 82. And I'd always heard about Mike, and he was always just mysterious figure that was always up in the mountains and doing crazy stuff, like going down. I heard the story about him going down to Elephant Butte, putting on his swimming trunks and swimming all the way across the lake just to do it. And, and then he goes up here. They have this reenactment of the Bataan Death March. He goes up there and does that every year. And he just, he's a unique individual. And what was weird, and I've told this story before, I'll tell it again, though. I went up there to try to get a dog from him, and he had a whole bunch of little Walker pups in his yard there. And it was I thought it was his girlfriend at the time, wasn't his wife. And I said, I'd like to buy one of these dogs for Mike. And she said, no, he'd rather just hit one in the head than sell it. And I said, oh, wow. And I mean, out of the blue, what, 20 something years later or 30 years later, he calls me. He said, hey, I got a couple pups for you if you want them.
See, Jared, there's hope when someone don't sell you dog. Next 20 years, you'll get an old call from Bean.
That's right.
And I went and got those dogs. I had one fall off a bluff and one I accidentally hit.
So what is he running? Where's his dog
Mike?
come from?
Oh, just old-fashioned dogs from up there in those hills, from Henderson and
whoever had a dog.
All those people up there. Yeah, I mean,
I think he's even got some Shelly blood in there, doesn't he, Brett?
Yeah, I imagine he does. I think Clay Henderson and all those guys, they all traded dogs, back in the day.
But when he got started, he bought from somebody, right? Did he get those dogs with him? With that when he?
I can't remember in the interview. I know I asked him where he got his dogs, but you'd have to hunt with Mike to understand Mike. I mean, you're riding down through there, and he has a dog just take off bawling, and I just look at him, and finally I said, "What do you think that dog's doing, Mike?" He's running a coyote. He'll be back after a little while. Never a concern, just never worries.
Yep. When I did that interview with that journalist, you don't want to call him reporter. You guys are journalists, but I guess it's offense to call him reporter. But I went over all that skinny dog stuff. I brought 5 different dogs. I brought my old dog. I brought a skinny dog. I brought a emo sensitive dog, and I brought 2 pups. And it kind of worked out real good, except the emo dog said, watch this dog right here. When I go to pet her, watch, she's going to be like, don't hit me. I went to pet her, and she lunged forward to me so I could pet her. I'm like, I said, let me try it again. Nothing. I'm like, well, I guess she's over her being an emo. I said, with that dog right there, Yucky, I said, he'll be skinny. And no matter, I put a 50-pound bag of dog food in front of him every day. He'll eat every bit of it. He'll still look like that.
That's the way my Rusty dog is in this last video. And that's what people complain about. Even during the video, I said, I'm sitting there in camp. Rusty comes up to me. I called him Flaco. I said, Flaco, I said, I'm just going to start calling you skinny. I feed him and warm him. He just will not gain weight. Mm-hmm. But he treated that coon good this morning.
Well, he asked about old dogs because you know the theory about old dogs from these anti-hunters is we just whack them in the head and send them on their way. We kill them. We don't need them. He goes, well, what are you going to do with that old dog? And I knew he's going with it. I said, that old dog will just die in my yard. I said, he'll be training puppies. I said, these old dogs, they either just kind of get put out the pasture, they lay on a couch, or they get given to a kid or somebody who's starting out and they will train pups. Those dogs will just they hunt. You can't just stop a dog. You could take a 18-year-old dog out that's laid on the couch for 5 years and it'll still hunt.
Oh
It will
yeah.
go. It will try. We had a 17-year-old lab. He would run out, get the bird, and lay down for about, I don't know, 30, 45 seconds. Get up and walk in with the bird.
I got an 11-year-old dog right now on my couch.
Yeah, Dirty. Dirty's 11. He's turning 11 in March.
Yeah.
Still hunting. Still going.
Well, Booger's 12, and he was underneath that tree this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Now
I said
you
all
hunt
that
him.
stuff.
You hunt him hard, and you got to lay him up for a few days because he gets real sore.
If I hunt Dirty hard, I just have to lift him in the tailgate. Now he's getting to the point where he just jumps his feet up there because he knows I'm going to help
And looks
him.
at you, yeah.
And he can jump in still. I've seen him do it. But if there's a jip and heat in that box, you jump in there backwards. But, and I just showed him everything. I said, see those pups? I had a pup run out. I'm saying, here, I'm going to show you this. I'm going to show you this running wild stuff. That pup got out, and I said, and I showed him GPS. And I said, look, 120, 180, 100. She got about 180 yards, and she just running up a hill. And I just said, watch, beep. I just toned her. I said, I'm just going to tone her. I said, most of the time, you don't shock dogs. You just tone them. And she did. She come running back and hunted over there by the other dog. I said, so that theory that they say our dogs are running rampant is false. We don't want our dogs no further than 200-300 yards. Most of your guys are hunting, they're just 200-300 yards out. You don't want them that far out. You want to know. And I did say, I said, and these people who think it's so easy to tree and that's all we're waiting for, that's not. We get to that tree as fast as we can for the safety of our dogs, and that's it. We get there to make sure our dogs are okay. And that's it. I said, if there's a lion in a tree, there's a lion in a tree or a bear. I said, but I tell you what, we don't kill everything in those trees. Whatever you hear, whatever they say is wrong. I said, everything they've said in there is wrong. We went through the whole thing. I said, that little sentence that says we use GPS collars to track wildlife. I said, it's absolutely true. This part, we use GPS collars. Here's the other part that's true. We track wildlife, but we don't use those GPS collars to track wildlife. We use those GPS collars to track our dogs. So I try to debunk as much of that CBD press release as I could.
Yeah.
So I was very pleasant. I didn't say the F word or nothing. I don't think I did. He didn't quote me on it. But and I knew the guy. I vetted him. I went through every one of his socials. I know what car he drove before he got there. I knew the license plate of it.
How was his posts on social media? Was it real anti or?
Not anti, just you could tell he's a little bit left. Probably Biden guy, Kamala guy. Like
his politics isn't how do I put this correctly?
No, I didn't see no rescue. I was at the rescue shelter. That's what I look for when people join air.
He didn't try to hit on you or anything.
No.
I have a story about.
How can you not?
Some weird shit.
He probably said, "Come here, you fuzzy-faced boy."
Yeah, maybe. But what date is the article? I think it just came. Look at the date. If you just type in Arizona Central, AZ Central, hunting in jaguar country, I think it'll pop up. I'll probably put that article up on azwda.com. I think I did put the CBD's petition up there. So you can kind of read through there and kind of tell me what you think about that. Look at the date
You want
though.
to get if you want to get mad, go read it, right?
Yeah,
It's
it's a
just,
joke.
I mean, if you're one of us, are the heathen houndsmen, like it's just full of propaganda. It's just stupid.
Yeah.
I couldn't even imagine reading that and being serious about it. They did kick it back and said there's some technical difficulties with it, whatever it is. They had something wrong, so it's coming back. It'll come back. And honestly, there is a meeting on January 24th, and we really should just have 60 people there saying, "Listen, we're waiting for that petition to come back, and we're going to be back." So there
Yeah,
should
because
be.
they kicked it, right?
They
The
did.
fishing game kicked
They
it.
did kick it. They kicked it for some technical or some, I don't know
Reason.
what they called it. Yeah, they found something wasn't right in it. So
Well, have you talked
Well,
about what's
nothing
going
was
on in
right in it.
Nevada? What I sent you,
January
Chris, about
13th
Nevada?
came out January 13th, 2025. It's called Hounds in Jaguar Country. So if you just type in Arizona Hounds in Jaguar Country, it'll probably pop up.
But
And people I haven't
Nevada's
talked to
got a
in
fight
years.
right now.
What is it?
Nevada's got a fight right now.
Oh
They
yeah.
do.
Well, yep. So does
They're
Washington.
coming after the 24-hour check, but for some reason they snuck in use of hounds in there too.
Oh, they do that. I think that's absolutely stupid. There's not even a good word for it. It's just stupid that when you put forth something, you can't put in, listen, you can't leave your water on for more than 24 hours. And also, hey, guess what? You can't hound hunt. Like, it's
Yeah.
stupid. It shouldn't do that at all. Shouldn't be allowed to do that. There should be legislature that says when you put any kind of bill or anything forward, it's subject, prominent, like it's whatever the subject is all you can talk about. Where
Yeah.
else did they do that? Where else did they get rid of something and they snuck it in?
California.
Oh yeah, it was a whole separate bill, right?
Yep.
Yeah. They did it in California.
Listen, man, I did not keep up with none of this stuff. And you'd be surprised what people send me.
Well, that's what they did in Utah, Chris, was with the lions. It was a whole separate bill, and then they threw that last part about lions in right at the end. And the bill was to fund a whole bunch of good things with grants, and so there was no way they couldn't pass it once they slipped it in on that bill.
Yep. I just got 3 new members sitting here. E. Anderson just signed up.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think it's him. But and that's kind of why I'm here, though. I think all the states really need to get together. I did reach out to Nevada, and they're kind of sitting on their butts. I said, no, you guys can't sit on. I don't care if there's no legislature. You guys gotta stay focused. That money needs to come in. Here's an example.
I've lived in Nevada forever, and you go to the hound trials, and there's the same 30 people there every year, and we all donate our $200. We do our $50 membership, and then 150 in raffles apiece. And it's the same 30 people every year. It's not good in Nevada right now. It's not.
Why? You know why?
Old mindset of we need to raise money through hound trials. You're not going to make money through houndsmen. You're not, especially through a hound trial. And
I can tell you what.
Well, how do you raise money then for the cause?
You have to become friends with the Sheep Society. Nevada, it's Bighorns Unlimited and that stuff. And I brought it up to the board, and they kind of told me, well, go start your own club.
Okay. It's a big difference. Hounds is such a controversy. Bighorn sheep is not. Those guys make $10 million a year in donations.
Well, so in Fallon, this was a couple years ago. In Fallon, Nevada, they have the sheep banquet every year in small town Fallon. They auctioned off a sheep tag for $75,000 at that place. Fallon doesn't even have 10,000 people living in the city. and a sheep tag sold for $75,000. Like, we could do stuff because Nevada Bighorns Unlimited will bend over backwards for a lion hunter. They will. I got buddies on the board, and they will. You ask them to do something, and they will do whatever they can to make it happen. But Nevada's hound group they're happy with their hound trial and their same 30 people every year, and that's all they do.
And that's hard because I mean, as much as we'd all like to live in the olden days and just go hunt, if we all
That's
just
not
go
how it
hunt and
works.
if we all just go hunt and don't get ready for these fights and don't prepare for it, we're gonna get caught with our pants down and it'll be too late.
Yep. And it'd be nice to see something happen in Nevada. And I brought it up a couple times when I'd go to the hound trials, and nothing really. I just kind of got pushed off to the side by the couple people I talked to. So,
Well,
Well,
that
are
has
you
been for.
Are you dealing with anybody in Nevada, Chris?
I did reach out. I did reach out to a person, and that's how I found out. They're just kind of sitting. It reminds me of my well. We have a well, a community well, and there's actually a thing in there that says when you hit $6,000, you don't have to pay the well no more. And I said that ain't gonna happen because you can't touch a well. It cost me almost $4,000 to replace the pump. So to drill a new well, if that one went bad, is 30, 40 grand. And we have, 6, 7 grand in there, and you're going to stop paying. That's stupid. That's the same with hound associations. And this is where people probably think I'm greedy and I want money, but damn, I do want money. I want as much money as I can get because the more money I have to spend, the more places I'm going to go. We're going to New Mexico. Look at Dustin's going to 3, 4. This is for your business, but AWDA
Arizona's going
is
with
a
me.
business. It's a
Arizona,
nonprofit business.
Any banquet I'm at for business, I'm representing both myself and the Arizona Working Dog Alliance. I'll be in Utah, Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming for sure.
All I want, someone else signed up. I can't see the name. And I want every state. So I'll give you a handful of cards, and it's all they got to do. I don't want them to join. They should. I have a shit. What do they call it? Affiliate membership for $150, and that's cheap. And honestly, we could trade affiliations. Why would I give 150 and he gives me 150? Let's just call it a squash. But I'm just trying to get a communication hub set up. I want a collaboration of information. That's it. So when Montana goes through some BS, and it's the same people, all these anti-hunting groups, it's like us. We're all the same people. We're all organizations. We're all hounds people. We're all dog people. And read that petition they put out, and they do cross out a lot of stuff in there, and they will come after. And here's the other people that need to be given. People like me. Well, I say me because I'm doing it right now, but I make everybody else help me. Like Dustin, he just kind of got drug into it. The AWDA is gonna work with the Cattlemen's Association because you're telling me that a dog ripping a cow's nose off with his teeth open. I've seen pictures of it already where they're saying it's stupid, like it's cruel that a dog is grabbing a cow's face. They're gonna come after them next. Just
well, they already
them
tried
saying
once in California.
they have tried. They've tried. I think they tried in Arizona at one point too, or they use those pictures. And they use a picture of a dog ripping off a cow's face, and his teeth are out, and there's slobber everywhere, and the cow's backing up. Same thing. That cow, he'll kill that dog. One good kick in the head. But they'll use that picture to come after hounds because they're the dogs. Dogs, and doesn't that involve cattle? Dogs pursuing mammals. They trail cows with their dogs. They got it's all wrapped up in one. And I don't know how many. I wish I could turn on a light a map and see how many houndsmen are in just Arizona. I mean, I know 50, 60 houndsmen personally. I had a guy today. I hope he's not watching because I didn't recognize him, but he gets on next to me. I'm in town, rolls his window, says, "Hey, what are you doing?" And, he's driving, and I'm trying to drive. And I'm like, "Oh, nothing, just taking the wife thrifting so I don't get killed." But I mean, people know people. And I think what drives me crazy is, and I heard this last night, where a guy told me on the phone, "I'm just waiting to see which way it goes." Well, you mother effer. It's not going to go no way if you don't donate, or that you
Yep.
donate your time. You donate your time. How about you go to New Mexico, just to go to the New Mexico Lion workshop is what they call it. It's like a seminar. $160 a night for a hotel for 4 nights. Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night. It's 4 days. Plus, it's $350 to get in as a professional. I thought student was just some stupid guy, and I was just $200. But I think you have to show ID like you're a student somewhere, like ASU, whatever. So $350. I mean, you're $1,000 deep, plus 4 days of my time. Who's going to do that? I will pay your way to go. That guy who donated that money said we need somebody there. So who's going to do that?
What
Right now, it's me.
What do you think? I mean, from what I've heard about that deal, that it's a lot of scientific jargon and
It's a
studies.
lot of anti-hunters there too.
Is there that they
Yeah,
pay
I
to go
heard
there?
that. I heard that from a very reliable source that was invited to go there to speak. You know, it's just for someone to tell me I'm gonna wait to see what happens. What? You're gonna go spend $80 a carton on some cigarettes, and you're worried every week, every month. You $50 a year is stupid. Honestly, I mean
Oh,
it's
it's
like
nothing.
it's embarrassing for you to say, "Here's $50 to go save my tradition." No, I would sign up on just like Netflix. I'd give you $20, $30 a month direct right out of my account
Yep.
to see results. And that's what people are afraid of, because all these organizations and all these they're just clubs. They're not. I don't want to be a club. I want to be an alliance. That's why I'm gathering as many people as I can just to talk to them, for collaboration of information. And then I'm going to do things that's not supposed to be done on our side. And for one, offense. I'm so sick of people. Oh, offense, go offense. Well, here I am. We're going to do offense. Now you have to pay for it. And I'm going to call these people out. All you guys, if I had everybody that give a membership, pay for a membership that said they would, I'd have 100 members. And there's no reason any state organization shouldn't have 500 members. I know there's hundreds of houndsmen and bird guys and dog guys in this state. And I get it.
Troy has no idea what he's talking about on TikTok. That's the way that most people found the train accident in Ohio in the hurricane.
There you go. Now you got called stupid. You got called fat today. You got called stupid.
Hey, Troy, you can kiss my ass.
Troy's a good guy.
You can still kiss my ass. I don't care if he is a good guy.
Good job, Troy. Thanks for poking the bear, Troy. That's another thing, that me saying that, I've been told this too. And I'm not going to say who's afraid of it. It's a state organization that manages our wildlife, that they want to poke that bear. I don't want to give away what I'm about to do, because, like I said, there's people listening. And if there's not listening, they're going to send it. It's going to go to a podcast, whatever. There's things I want to do that needs to be done, because there's boxes of information sitting in a place that needs to be forced to the public. And it's being sat on because they're afraid there's nothing going on. When there's nothing going on, when your wife's sleeping and you want to touch her boobie or whatever, You don't want to wake her up sometimes. You're going to poke that bear. It might be good, it might be bad. But as long as she's peaceful and happy, you're just going to kind of leave it that way. And that's what's going on. They don't want to rock the boat. Period. And I get it. But you can't do that no more. These uneducated, uninformed, emotional based science, whatever they want to call it, feelings of majestic animal people, they don't care to rock the boat. They'll try to tip that boat and hold you underwater. And I think it's time that an organization takes them under with them. You want to tip me over? All right. Or you take the boat and run it first. And that's my goal, is to sink them first. I'm tired of the lies. I'm tired of the bullying. I don't like bullying. And they're being bullies. That's plain and simple. So
I agree. That's a lot of these
So I gotta-
states that have lost it were too slow. They played defense instead of trying to get ahead of
they
it.
waited.
Yeah.
They waited is what they did.
And that's
that's-
what's needed
that's
is
the
a good offense.
That's the most unintelligent thing to do, is wait. It's to wait.
Yep.
If you live in a crackhead neighborhood, you should have a lock on your door. Period. And if you don't have a lock on their door and you expect them not to do something, and it's too late when they break in your house and they run into your bedroom.
Yep.
So that's my goal, is basically be an asshole, honestly, and tell these guys to kind of go F themselves. So when they come out with
be a thorn in
media
their
release,
side.
yes, just like they are ours.
Yeah.
And we're doing things that nobody does. We're trying to. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not educated on none of this stuff. I looked up today what I needed to do on a certain subject, and you know what I'm doing? I'm copycatting them. I'm playing their game. Period. And I warned them. I did, and that I think in that, I said we're not just one sportsman anymore. We're many. And I think all these people who doubt and just kind of talk shit and sit on their computer, on their phone, and either get out and do something or pay someone to do it. Cody King said it great. It's going to cost you $100,000 a year for someone to do it. And I'm going to tell you right now, you hire someone to do this job, they could do this job for 12 hours a day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and still not do enough.
Yep.
And those guys have 20 or 30 people.
Oh, they're organized
that
too.
Work on them. They are organized, and we're just a bunch of heathen houndsmen that are so busy trying to get that next line before they outlaw it. How about you quit hunting for a little while? How about you don't go on Friday, January 24th, Arizona people?
Now you're getting
go to
personal.
And go to the Arizona Game and Fish meeting that has nothing to do with anything about lions. And say, because what that does is it shows that all them guys that are sitting down there that aren't going to be there from all these organizations that are against us, that we're going to show up every month. Period. And you have to show up every month. All these little things are going on. I got to go to Camo in the Capitol. I'm not the biggest people person. I'll talk to people, but I don't think I'm educated to not offend somebody sometimes.
Oh, you should be me.
Yeah, I know. I learned from Brett. Okay, don't do that. Don't do that.
We'll use Brett as an example.
Yep.
An example of things not to do.
Yeah. But it has to be done. And these houndsmen and these dog people and these hunters, even the bow hunters and the archery guys. And I mean, you got certain people on platforms talking crap about long range shooters. Yes, we know. It's not fair to shoot across the canyon if it's not fair for us to run dogs at 1,000 yards. We all know that. But you can't go on there and you can't just start talking trash to everybody. You got to say, hey, listen up. When they're done with us, buddy, they're coming after you. They're already getting rid of, I think I just seen in our our stuff in Arizona, they're getting smart scopes. I'm like, what the hell is a smart scope? You guys know what a smart scope is?
Mm-mm.
Oh yeah,
Range it,
it's big in the
and
I'm
cruiser
all
adjust
as
it
well.
for you.
Yeah, it has all your ballistics. It has rangefinder, and I get that. I get it. I think that's worse than GPS in my book, because all we're doing is
It-
chasing. We have to get to the place, and that could be an 80% chance, or that could be a 20% chance of
That's
actually trailing that. Jared, where you been for a week?
I was in northern Arizona pulling my
Mhm.
hair out.
How many lines did you catch?
None.
How many days did you trail?
5
How many miles?
every day, sun up to sundown. So average 12 to
Mhm.
13,
Yeah.
10 to 13 a day.
Wait a minute. You had
Sometimes
GPS collars.
backwards.
Didn't you have GPS collars?
Absolutely.
Cheater.
Mm. Cheater.
Yep.
Thank God he didn't have snow. I got my shirt on too today. Look. I got to get some of these made. I got to turn right. There you go, Chris Powell. Hashtag Chris Powell, somebody. But that's just the way it is. That's the way it is. And for people not to, all these houndsmen should be sending Brett $5 to go to the next interview. And you should know somebody. Hey, go to Joe Blow's house over here. This guy's crazy. And you'll be like, who's that? Go meet him. And that's going to be the next Warner Glenn, because nobody knows about him. The best guys are, and Warner's not a media hog. He don't run around looking for nothing. Everybody just knows who he is because he's been doing it for 80, 90 years. You know,
He's not quite that old, but
well, he's been doing it as soon as he could ride a mule.
Oh,
He
he's
caught
90
his
years
first
old.
line when he was 7.
Yeah.
He's
So
90
82,
now.
let's just say 82 years, 83 years.
80 years
Yeah.
probably.
You know, but he's been around it for 90 years. The guy's still getting on a damn mule. That guy is what every hunter would love to be. Every hound hunter would love to be that guy. Have his story. And what does he tell? A couple stories? That guy has hundreds of stories. You could go talk to him for 7 days,
For days.
8 hours a day, and have a different story.
Yep.
Hey,
Have you guys
let's run over there for lunch, Brett.
What's that?
Let's run over there for lunch, and we'll get some more stories.
Huh?
You won't be so shocked this time.
Yeah, I was starstruck with them. I mean, and they treated us like kings. It was unbelievable.
I shook his hand, and I could go smell a lion track just by myself, just by shaking his hand.
Did you open on it?
I could have trusted. I could have. I was babbling, but I mean, it's just he's a great guy. He's a great guy all the way around.
Yep.
You know.
And
I told people I shook his hand, and they're jealous. They're like, I'm jealous.
And real humble. I mean, real humble.
Yeah, all of them are. Every one of them. So, I mean, it's stuff that needs to happen that should have been happening in the last 20 years. I did have a lady reach out to me today and talk about some legislature stuff. I mean, she was dead serious. I said, well, listen here, lady, you're going to be vetted. So I'm going to run your number, and then I'm going to dig into you real bad, because I don't need anti-hunters trying to sneak up on me. I said, I hope you're not one. She sounded like, her and her husband, they fought some stuff, and I think they moved from Idaho. They moved from all over. Every time they cut something out in Washington, they moved to Idaho. And, they was talking about the Florida thing, about them doing right to hunt state now, right?
Mm-hmm.
What happened in Florida?
It was right to hunt.
Only walking. Reading comments.
When the cold turns their scent off.
Believe it or not, but snow is not a guarantee. Look at us, got another liar in the group. Jeremiah. Wait, yeah, no. I was going to say Jeremiah just came a member, but it was a different Jeremiah. Where you at, Jeremiah? But I'm talking to Colorado presidents, and I'm talking to Utah presidents, and I'm talking to Wyoming presidents, because they've been through it. Justin in Colorado, that guy, he literally shot me down and said, let me tell you what's going to happen. And I think I went in a corner and cried for 5 minutes. And then I talked to Corey. And that guy, God dang, just the stuff you have to go through. It's a full-time job just for an organization, just for a houndsman association. And I'm trying to like do it like this alliance thing. I'm telling you. If you guys are anybody's bored out there and want to do a little bit of work, I mean, just look up stuff and send it to me. Missy texted me and said, do you have a list of organizations? I don't. I get on Google. I get on Facebook. I find them. I try to message them. I had a guy call me at 9 o'clock, and it was 11 o'clock back where he was. Arkansas Coyote guy, dog association. Invited him to my little Facebook group that I got just for Hound Associate, just so we can talk about what you should do and what you shouldn't do. And that's kind of what this show's about. We've talked about the social media stuff. I mean, you can't talk about social media enough. And you know what I told that reporter? I said, listen, all these videos that they make bad, they're not bad. They ain't no different than a dash cam. I said, how many dash cam videos you watch on YouTube where there's accidents and wrecks? I said, mayhem will catch you and you'll watch it. The more Western something gets, how many times have you rubbernecked on the freeway when there's a yellow sheet on a dead body? People just want to watch mayhem. They want to watch that weird stuff. Car accidents. They want to watch it. It's no different in hunting.
Just like that dingo Fritz I sent you the other day. I'm like, why can't he keep his mouth shut?
Yeah. Just instead of getting on there and saying you bow hunters suck, or you long distance shooters suck, or you spot and stock, and it's a proven the numbers are there that spot and stock people kill more bears than hound guys. So you can't use that against us no more. We only killed 21% of the bears in Unit 1. And 4 years ago, we killed 51%. 3 years ago, we killed 40-something%. 2 years ago, we killed 30%. And this year was 21%. We only killed 21. And 10 and 30% less females were killed by hound guys. So we didn't kill the females. I'm not saying we don't kill females. I killed a female. And I got a guy that just became a member right now, called me out on it. He texted me and said, hey, nice bear. What was it?
Oh, we just lost Dustin.
Justin always disappears.
Yeah.
He's always just gone.
Dustin's the king of Irish goodbyes.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it might be time for us all to disappear.
Yeah, it's been 2 hours. And I've been talking for the last 30 minutes. So
My ears
I just can't
hurt.
get it
My
through
ears hurt.
enough. I just can't get it through people's minds that if you want somebody to do something, it's going to cost you a little money. And if someone wants to take over this, I'll hand it to them, and I'll give you my money. Easy enough.
No one's time's free. Doesn't matter what it is.
No.
Your time is never free. And if it is free, you're an idiot.
That just tells me there's less houndsmen now than 4 years ago. And you might be right. You might be right.
I wonder what the turnover rate is. How many people get into it and then bail after a few years? I mean, I've known a few.
I've known a few too.
I know what the divorce rate is.
Yeah. Dustin!
I can be in that category.
We just said that Jared said you're the best of Irish goodbyes.
I am good at Irish goodbyes, especially when I was drinking. I was real good at it.
Yep. You don't drink no more?
Oh, nope. Not having for a little while. Every once in a while.
Let me tell you
I got
that,
real bad and learned had to quit.
Yeah. The stereotypical houndsman grows up drinking and hound hunting, doing stupid stuff, and they get older and they just kind of quit drinking.
Oh, I could tell you some stories.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've got a few.
Yep. I think everybody
But these,
does.
but I think these young guys getting into hounds, it's all cool, and social media kind of makes it cool, and then they get into it, and then they realize
It's not
yesterday.
easy.
You know what I did all day yesterday? I raked dogs. They throw up rocks and they shit rocks because you could have a rockless area, and a month later, there's piles of rocks. They just come out. They
Yep.
just I don't know what they do. They eat dog food and they shit rocks. You know, I got a call from a guy. Well, it's Richard Fight. He calls me one night about our show Wednesday when I had all the presidents on from the hound associations. And he said, I was going to text you and then I was going to email you. But I have to call you and tell you that was one of the best shows you've done. Because, I don't know, I guess we just kind of got together. And that's what it should be like. All houndsmen should get together. Period.
Yep.
I don't know. Even snow hunters should come around, I guess.
Well, don't tell Benny that. Where'd Benny go to? He's been awfully quiet.
I think he's sleeping.
Yeah. If you don't love the hounds, when the going gets hard, they'll get out. And they do.
Yeah.
They do. They get in, they realize it's a lot of work. I spent all day yesterday. I had 4 fires going, just cleaning up around my dog pens. And I have to do that twice as much now because I might have a reporter want to come over.
Well,
Yep.
that comment from Troy, how long was it, Cody was getting bent out of shape. His dogs hadn't been able to catch anything. And now
Cody's
here in the last he's caught 2 lions just back to back.
Oh,
Cody's
look at this
spoiled
guy
though.
right
This
here.
guy Cody goes and catches 100 bobcats a year, so he's kind of
Yeah.
spoiled.
Yeah, but why not get out whenever he can't catch one for 20 days?
Yep.
That's
Because
rough.
because he knows he can catch 100 a
disheartening.
year when things get right.
Oh, you should have heard Jared's depression when he called me and said, I
Dude,
can't catch
that
these.
was the best. That was the best week of lion hunting I've ever had. But the
Oh, but he was
worst.
mad. He was mad, Chris,
Oh.
wasn't he?
He
Oh,
was.
I called
He
Dustin
was
too.
frustrated. He was frustrated because he was trailing, boom, bump into another track.
And I was trailing one time. In an hour and a half, the dogs trailed 2 miles the way the crow flies. You're like, we're gonna catch this bugger. We're gonna catch him. And then they'd make a right or left turn, and the track would get a little bit better, and then I'd be like, I gotta cut him off at the road to see where the track left the road. And then I hit the road, and I got a different lion track going the opposite way, and we've been back trailing for 45 minutes. That happened almost every day.
Hey, I backtrailed a lion one time all day long, and he was already dead. They trapped him. They trapped him the day before on the Bighorn sheep range. I ran into the biologist.
Look at Robert. Look at Robert bragging. Kick him off. Just kick him off right now. I don't care about your stupid catches now.
Well,
You want me to ban him?
I think we should ban him.
Just ban him. Get rid of him.
With emotional rhetoric like that.
I'm going to put it up just so everybody knows. There are people who actually can catch a lion. Jared?
God dang. 180?
Send us a
big
picture.
old tone.
You got to send us a picture.
You got to have a picture or it's not true. And a set of scales.
Because he's addicted to the chase and the music of the hounds. And for the true houndsman, the bad days all welcome just like the good day. Yeah.
I'm not addicted to dogs barking. I'm addicted to seeing lions in a tree.
But you follow those dogs barking to see it.
I do. That's just because I have to. But if I love the dogs and everything, but I still do it to see something at the end of it.
Yep. Well, if you didn't love the dogs, you wouldn't be taking them to the vets. I'll tell you that.
That's true. That is very true.
Guys,
Nothing's better than seeing a green-eyed lion, though.
Yep.
that's what that guy
Yeah.
asked me. What did he ask? What did he tell me? Who was it? Was Benny there? And I said something about treeing a bobcat or treeing a coon or something like that. And he said, tell me. He said, do you get that same feeling when you tree them like you do when you tree a lion? I said, no. It's not the same. It's not even close.
Kind
You're
of
just happy it's
nothing against snow hunting, but it's kind of like when you catch a lion in the snow and your dogs just burn it down. It's all right. We caught him, but you already know when you cut the dogs loose, there's a 95% chance you're going to see a lion at the end of the day in the snow. Kind of nothing against snow hunting. It's just, yeah,
if you got a track, you're gonna follow that track out, regardless if you have
Yeah.
dogs or not.
yeah. I mean, I got
It
buddies.
does.
out
It
for
does
lions
show
that
you you're not running backwards.
It does. It does help out a lot. Nothing against snow hunting. I did it for a long time.
Jared,
I probably should get back into it for how good I'm doing right now. But
Jared basically saying that if he could tree a lion by himself, he'd get rid of every hound.
you know, do you ever?
That is a pretty lion right there.
Yeah, it don't look like 180 though. Just joking, Robert. Don't get mad.
That's all right. He thinks that Colorado chili looks like green chili too.
Yeah, you got snow up there, Robert? Did they get snow yet?
It's too cold
Everyone
to
got
snow.
snow besides Arizona.
I
It
know.
was 100. It was minus 20 degrees yesterday. It's too cold to snow.
Well,
All right, guys.
yep.
Let's call it a
Dustin,
night. I'm
thanks for
tired.
coming on. Jared,
Yep.
Yes,
catch
sir.
a
I
lion.
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
All right.
Remind me twice.
Don't forget,
See you guys. Good night.
Chris has his antidote of a houndsman on Wednesday nights.
Wednesday. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's where they get into
Go
the
join.
real details of stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna dive into it real hard this Wednesday. azwda.com. You can win a Garmin TT25 if you go become a member or donate.
Go sign up so Chris can fight our battles
Mhm.
for us.
Ugh.
Yep.
Or pass it on to someone who wants to. And if you know a real rich guy, send them our way. We need a houndsman or a good hunter or somebody that has deep pockets.
Is it a rich houndsman? Isn't that like an oxymoron? Is that what you call it?
I know. I was just playing. I'm just playing. All right, guys.
All right. Hasta luego.
Good night.
See ya.
Later.